Ever wonder how some men can walk into a room, say just a few words, and suddenly women lean in, curious, intrigued, even a little obsessed? It's not magic. It's psychology. Stoic psychology. You see, while most men fumble with awkward compliments or cheesy lines, the modern playboy, the disciplined one, the self-controlled one, asks questions. Not just any questions, but 7 psychological triggers that slip past her defenses and spark something primal. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what those questions are. But be warned, once you know these, you'll never see conversations the same way again. And what's something most people misunderstand, she won't forget you either. Quick question, though. Ever tried impressing her by telling her about your NFT collection? Yeah, let's never do that again. Let's dive into the first question because once you ask it, you'll own the room. 1. What's something most people misunderstand about you? This question is a doorway, one that bypasses the surface-level talk and leads straight into her internal world. You're not asking about her job, her hobbies, or the highlights she shares on social media. You're asking her to expose something most people never bother to ask about: who she really is. And here's what most men never realize. Desire doesn't begin with attraction. It begins with emotional intimacy. When a woman feels emotionally understood, desire naturally follows. When she answers this question, she drops the performance. The filters come off. She starts being real, and in that moment you become different. You're no longer just another, you become someone she remembers, guy. You become someone she remembers. Now, if she smiles, pauses, and says something like, "People think I'm always sweet, but I've got a dark side." Ding, ding, ding. You just unlocked a side of her most people never get to see. You're not in the friend zone, you're in the danger zone. And once you create that level of curiosity, that emotional shift, it's time to guide her deeper into her adventurous, untamed side, the most spontaneous thing you've ever done. Let's go there. Next. 2. What's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done? When you ask this, you're not just making small talk, you're lighting a fire. Why? Because spontaneity is tied to emotion, risk, and thrill. 3 things that fuel attraction at a subconscious level. Most people live life on autopilot. But when she reflects on a moment where she broke the script, did something impulsive, wild, or unexpected, she doesn't just remember it, she relives it. And here's the psychological trick. The brain doesn't fully distinguish between past emotions and present ones. So, as she tells you that story about skydiving on a whim, taking a last-minute trip, or kissing someone under the rain, she feels alive, and you, by association, become the one who makes her feel that way. Just don't say, "The most spontaneous thing I did was order pineapple on pizza." That's not dangerous. That's questionable. Now, after she laughs, reflects, and replays that wild memory, you've created an emotional high. She's not thinking logically now. She's feeling. She's "what do you value more" open. This is the perfect moment to test her emotional depth and uncover what drives her when passion and principle collide. Let's explore that with the next question. 3. What do you value more, loyalty or passion? This question. It's deceptively simple but powerful because you're not asking her to choose between good or bad. You're asking her to reveal how she loves. Does she crave fiery chemistry, the adrenaline of unpredictability? Or does she long for stability, for someone who stays when things get hard? Her answer gives you insight into her emotional blueprint, what drives her connections and what breaks them. It also catches her off guard in the best way. She'll walk away wondering, why did that question get toned like that? Because it's not just a question, it's a mirror. And whether she chooses fire or foundation, you just became unforgettable. But don't stop there. Now that you've stirred her emotions, it's time to dive deeper into the quiet truths she wishes someone would finally ask her about. Let's do, what do you wish that next? 4. What do you wish more people asked you about? This question flips the script. It's not about impressing her. It's about inviting her. You're giving her permission to step out of the roles she plays and into her real self. Maybe she says, My art, or how much I overthink, or the dreams I never talk about? Whatever her answer, you've just uncovered a hidden layer, and that creates instant intimacy. Most guys don't ask this because they're too focused on talking. But you're doing something rare. You're creating space for her to be. Meanwhile, her DMs are full of weird texts. And here you are opening portals to her soul. She'll feel it, and more importantly, she'll remember you for it. Now that she's revealed something deep, it's time to flip the perspective and invite her into a version of life she hasn't yet dared to imagine. 5. If you could live one day with no consequences, what would you do? This isn't just a fantasy question. It's a window into her suppressed desires. When there are no rules, no judgment, no guilt, who does she become? Who does she become? Does she chase thrill, seek revenge, indulge in pleasure, escape everything? Her answer doesn't just entertain. It exposes the boundaries she secretly wants to break. And in that moment, you're not just talking. You're exploring a parallel version of her, one even she might not fully understand. Warning: if she says, "I'd rob a bank and disappear," she's not boring. She's bold. And now you know she laughs. She opens up, and for once, she's playing instead of performing. But here's the deeper purpose. By giving her permission to imagine without limits, you're showing her a man who sees past the surface. And now, it's time to bring the moment back to reality and challenge what she truly believes about people. 6. Do you think people are mostly good or mostly selfish? This one isn't just deep, it's disarming, because now you're not just flirting, you're exploring her worldview. Her answer reveals how she's been shaped by trust, betrayal, kindness, or pain. If she says mostly good, she's likely hopeful, maybe a little idealistic. If she says mostly selfish, she's seen shadows and she carries the scars. Either way, this moment bonds you. Why? Because you're not reacting, you're listening without trying to fix it. Just don't say, "Question your soul." Depends if they're in traffic. Unless you want her to question your soul. The truth is, people rarely get asked this, and when they do, it lingers. It makes them question the walls they've built, and now that she's opened up about the world, it's the perfect moment to turn it personal, to find out what she's still searching for beneath all the layers. Let's go there. 7. What's something you're still trying to figure out about yourself? This question hits different because now you're not asking who she was or what she does. You're asking who she's becoming. And that's powerful. It tells her, "I see you as a work in progress, not a finished product." Her answer might be raw, confused, honest. Maybe she's still learning how to trust or let go or love without fear. Whatever it is, it's a confession, not a performance. If she says how to fold a fitted sheet, marry her. She's real. But seriously, this is where walls fall, and you become the man who sits in the silence without rushing to fix her. That's rare, and that's exactly why it builds emotional desire that doesn't fade. Now she's feeling seen, stirred, and maybe even a little shaken. So, how do you end this kind of conversation? Let's close it out the right way. You just learned what most men will never ask. 7 questions that bypass ego, awaken emotion, and trigger attraction. Not from manipulation, but from mastery. You're not chasing women. You're becoming the man women are drawn to. The one who leads with strength, stillness, and soul. And if that's the man you're becoming, don't stop here. Hit subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, psychological power plays, and real conversations that elevate your dating life and sharpen your masculine edge. Because desire doesn't happen by chance. It happens by design.